So the question is, a researcher has obtained the country level data on the average BMI, body mass index, and the average sugar intake for 100 countries. Which among the following will be the best suited to present the relationship between BMI and the sugar intake in the 100 countries? So what do they want? They want the relationship between BMI and the sugar intake, and we know, so they want the relationship between BMI and sugar intake, average sugar intake. So first of all, try to find out that, sorry, not BMI, it's BMI and the sugar intake. So BMI is a continuous variable and sugar intake is again a continuous variable. So they want us to find the relationship between two continuous variable country wise. So now let us make example first. So we have taken example, rather than taking 100 countries, we have taken 5 countries, country A, B, C, D and D, and we have given the hypothetical values for the sugar intake. Let us suppose for A country it's 20, B 40, C 60, D 80, E 100, and for the BMI we have given again the hypothetical data 21, 23, 25, 28, 31. So this is, we are having the data of researcher for the 5 countries. So first is bar chart. They are saying that can you draw the bar chart? So now coming to the option bar chart. If we will try to make the bar chart, on the x-axis we will have to take the country A, B, C, D, E, and for the y-axis we have to take the BMI, and then BMI we can plot for the A country it's 21, B country it's 23rd, 25th, 20, 31. Now we do not have anything to plot for the sugar intake. If we have plotted for the BMI, we cannot plot the sugar intake, or it can be other way around. For example, if rather than taking BMI on the y-axis, if I have taken the sugar intake, I can again plot the bar chart, but then I will be having no place to represent the sugar, to represent the BMI. So bar chart cannot be drawn. So the thing is, the bar chart is drawn only when we have to compare the categories. For example, we have taken the countries and we want to compare them on the basis of BMI. Only then we can draw the bar chart. So first option will be wrong. So it will not be the bar chart. Coming to the pie diagram. Again coming to the pie diagram. So pie diagram is drawn whenever we have to show that something is part of something whole. For example, we can only draw like the total sugar intake of country A, B, C, D, E. We will make the total, and we can find out that A is having the 7% of what the total intake of sugar is in the 5 countries, and B will be having the 29%, 21%, 29%. So again, this is not the relationship between the sugar intake and the BMI. So, and second thing is that it is drawn when when two variables, like we are showing the relationship between the two things, and when one is the part of another thing. Sugar intake is not the part of BMI. BMI is not the part of sugar intake. So pie diagram cannot be made. So concept is that pie chart is made whenever something is part of a whole. So pie chart cannot be drawn. So B is wrong. Coming to C, frequency polygon. So frequency polygon, again, we can only draw for the BMI. For example, a continuous variable is there. So we can draw like 20 to 22. Of the countries which are having BMI from 22 to 24 of those, then BMI having between 24 to 26, between 26 to 28, between 28 to 32, and then we can draw here the number of countries. Then we can say that between 20 to 22 we have only one country, like country 1, then other country, then other country, then other country. So we can draw like this only. So frequency polygon will be having use only for one continuous variable. We cannot draw it for the two continuous variable. So the concept is that frequency polygon or histogram is drawn whenever we have to plot distribution of one continuous variable, but here we are having two continuous variable. So frequency polygon is again wrong. Coming to fourth, scatter diagram. We can draw the scatter diagram. Why? On the x-axis we have taken sugar intake, on the y-axis we have taken BMI, and the country wise we can plot it. For example, if we take the country C, for this country C I can draw on the x-axis and I can find out that is the sugar intake is 60. Then on the y-axis I can find out what is the BMI. Then I can also have the relationship between the BMI and the sugar intake. As you can see, that it is the positive relationship. the country which is having the higher sugar intake also having the higher BMI. So this we can draw. So the concept is the scatter diagram can be drawn whenever we have to plot the relationship between the two continuous variable. So the answer will be the scatter diagram. So scatter diagram will be the correct answer. If you cannot do this whole thing and you want a short answer, the answer will be that because BMI and sugar intake both are your continuous variable, and whenever you have to find the relationship between two continuous variables, you have to go for scatter diagram, and if they are giving just one continuous variable, go for frequency polygon. So answer will be D, scatter diagram. Now coming to question number 92, they are asking that frontline health workers are employed to record the birth and deaths in countries which have made slow progress in the development of a comprehensive vital registration system. So we know that vital registration system is one of the best things, but there are countries which are making slow progress in the development of this comprehensive vital registration system. So then they are using frontline health workers to record the birth and death in the country. So frontline health workers like ASHA workers or the village health guides, they will be going home to home to find out what is the birth and what is the death. If in some home there is some birth, in that home is there some death, and they will be counting that and they will be recording that. So they're asking that what is this approach known as? So this approach is known as lay reporting. So this is known as lay reporting. Going for every option, first is registration of vital events. So registration of vital events is known as civil registration system. Who collect the data? Government authorities like registrar, local registrar, municipal registrar. How is data collected? Continuous recording of each birth and death as and when it occurs. So whenever somebody dies, we know that we go to MCD or the municipal corporations or BMC, and we go and take the death certificate from the MCD, or we take the birth certificate from the MCD. So from there, the government can collect the data, it is vital data of birth and death. Or legal registration at the local or regional. So we have made it mandatory that you have to legally register it, so that for the school admissions or for taking the benefits of insurances, we have to present these certificates. So ultimately the people have to go to the government authorities and have to record that. So these are known as registration of vital events. So where is it used? Countries that have well established legally enforced civil registration system, and this is the most accurate and complete and considered the gold standard for the vital statistics. Second is where these are not available, like lay reporting system in some village. So there are frontline health workers, village health workers, traditional birth attendants, community volunteers. Workers visit household regularly. Information on birth and death is obtained from community. Reports are sent to the central agency. Where is it used? Where the countries with incomplete or developing registration system, like low or middle income countries. So it is used where CRS is weak, inexpensive and easy to implement. It is less accurate due to recall error and under reporting. Somebody didn't report it, and so it will not come into the reporting system, lay reporting system. Then you have sample registration system. It is having two sources. One is continuous enumeration by local, so local star will be enumerating in. Second is there will be a supervisor who will be doing 6 monthly independent survey. So it's a dual recording system. Enumerator record event continuously, and then supervisor conduct a survey of a sample every 6 months. It is used in many developing countries including India. So it allows estimation of birth and death rates. It is more reliable than lay reporting. So it is better than the lay reporting. It is basis of the vital statistics in India. Now census. Who collects the data? It is a government enumerator, like our school teachers are going. So there are many government enumerators. They go to the each family, each house, like it is occurring now. In India, population is counted at a specific point of time, usually every 10 years, includes questions on births and deaths. So it is done in generally all countries, usually once in 10 years, like we have decennial census. It gives total population demographic structure. It is not suitable for measuring annual birth or the death rate because it is done every 10 years. So we will not be having the data for every year. So remember, you have to remember, whenever frontline health workers are employed to record birth and deaths in country which have made slow progress in developing a comprehensive vital registration system, which we know is the gold standard for vital statistics, this approach is lay reporting system or the lay reporting. So the answer will be lay reporting. Now coming to next question, while calculating the total dependency ratio, which one of the following is used in the denominator? So whenever in a population we want to find out that how many people are the one who are earning, and on those earning people, how many people are there who are dependent on them. So for that population, we want to know the total dependency ratio. So they're asking what is used in the denominator. So denominator is something which comes in below, downside in the fraction. So it's a mid-year population, it's a population 0 to 65, population 50 to 64 years, or population 14 to 70 years. So what is total dependency ratio? So we know there are some dependent population and there's an independent population. Dependent population are the one which are having age below 15 and 64 and above. So the age below 15 and those 64 and above, so more than 65. So because in India, less than 15 years you cannot do the work, and more than 65 you have to retired, and you are generally considered as dependent. And independent population, the earning population are the one between 15 to 64. So dependency ratio is number of dependent or non-working age group upon population aged between 15 to 64 years. So in the dependency ratio, our denominator will be population aged between 15 to 64 years. So answer will be population 15 to 64 years, because these are the people who are the earning. These are the people who are independent. These are the people on whom the dependent people, the children and the senior citizens, are depending. Okay. So this is the dependency ratio for any population. So denominator will be those who are independent, those who are working. Coming to 94. As per the United Nations definition of vital events registration system, vital events include which of the following? So what will be known as vital event? What all will be enumerated? One is fetal death, second is school admission, third is legal separation, fourth is college graduation. So for that, we need to know what is the definition of vital events as per the United Nations. So coming to definition, so it's taken from the PARC. So United Nations defines a vital event registration system as including legal registration, statistical recording and reporting of occurrence of and collection, compilation, presentation, analysis and distribution of statistical pertaining to vital events. And now, what are the vital events? So vital events are live births, deaths, fetal deaths, marriages, divorces, adoptions, legitimations, recognitions, annulments and legal separation. The registration of vital events had been foundation of vital statistics. So when we come here, so fetal deaths, yes, one is correct. School admissions, no. Legal separations, yes. College graduations, no. So 1 and 3 will be the correct option. So the correct option will be 1 and 3. So other than that, you know all others, so that because it can be asked again. So birth, death, marriage, divorces, adoptions, legitimations, recognitions, annulment of marriages or legal separations. So these are the options which are other than what is given in our question that can be asked, and these are known as the vital statistics as per the United Nations. Now coming to the 95th question, consider the following statement about the Casanur forest disease. So we have Casanur forest disease, KFT. The option number first, it is transmitted by ticks. Yes, this is correct. It is transmitted by the ticks. It was originally called pig disease because of the association with the dead pigs. No, was originally called as the monkey disease because of association with the dead monkeys. So second is wrong. It was first recognized in Karnataka state. Yes, it was first recognized in Shimoga district of Karnataka. So that's why the name later came from the Casanur forest disease, because Casanur forest is in the Karnataka Shimoga district. So 2 are correct. So answer will be only 2 of the statements are correct. So answer will be C. So now coming to the source from where it was asked. So it was asked from the PARC. So the question is, Casanur forest disease, KFT, is a febrile disease associated with hemorrhages caused by an arbovirus, flavivirus and transmitted to man by bite of infective ticks. So from here it was asked, history, KFD was first recognized in 1957 in Shimoga district of Karnataka state in South India. Local inhabitants call the disease monkey disease. So the people in the Karnataka, in the Shimoga district, they called it as monkey disease because they used to see that it is associated with the dead monkeys. So whenever someone was going to dead monkeys, someone was near to the dead monkeys, he or she was associated with the disease. The disease was later named after the locality Kyasanur forest from where the virus was first isolated. So from where the virus was first isolated, the name was given. So the correct answer will be it is transmitted by ticks. It was originally called the monkey disease, and it was first recognized in Karnataka state and that too in the Shimoga district, and when it was recognized in 1957, 10 years after independence of India. Now, coming to 96th, in countries with low level of measles transmission, what should be the appropriate age for starting immunization when measles containing vaccine? So we know that it is in India, it is done at the 9 months. So vaccination is done at the 9 months. But they are not asking about India. They are asking in countries with low level of measles. So we have to find it, is it less than 9 months, more than 9 months. So it is very interesting to know that how measles vaccines period is decided. So coming to concept from the park. So we should know that whenever we give the vaccination before 9 months. So whenever we give vaccination before 9 months, the problem is that the immunity from the mother's breast milk may be present. So the immunity in the child will be present from the breast milk or from the placenta. So immunity present in the child, immunity in child present. Now this can obstruct, or this can fight, or this can interfere with the immunity development in the child. So there can be interference. But if we give after 9 months, so the problem will be that there may be some child in which the immunity is not there and he or she may contract the measles. So measles can happen in that child. Measles can occur in that child. So we are having problem that we should give it before 9 months or after 9 months, at 9 months. So India went for the compromise. India said we will give close to the 9 months as possible. So in India, immunization is done at the 9 months. Now, so WHO also said it should be given at 9 months, and so India adopted the same, that we will give it at 9 months. So in India, we go for the compromise for the 9 months. Now they are saying that there is a community in which there is an outbreak of the measles. So in that community, we go for the immunization between 6 months to even 9 months. So even before 9 months, we give it from 6 months to 9 months. And those countries with incidence of measles where it has declined, the age of immunization is raised to 12 months in order to avoid blocking effect of persistent transplacentally acquired antibodies. So which antibodies we are actually talking about? Not from the breast milk, but it is a transplacental. So it is a transplacental antibodies. So coming to the question, so the country with a low level of measles, so answer will be 12 months. So it will be 12 months. C will be the correct option. So when will our answer be 6 months? So 6 months will be when the community is having the outbreak of measles. If there is outbreak of measles, give the measles vaccine at 6 months only, because the children are not having the transplacental antibodies in the titer which are going to protect them. 9 months we give in India, and it is also as per the WHO because of the compromise that we know that before there is possibility that transplacental antibodies are present and it may block or it may interfere with the immunity development, but still we go for the 9 months because we do not want that because of our delay a child may contract the measles. Then coming to 12 months is for those countries with a low level of measles, because we do not want any interference with the transplacentally acquired antibodies. 15 to 18 months, never. It is not followed anywhere. So answer will be 12 months. Now coming to monkeypox. Monkeypox is a viral zoonotic disease. It's caused by a single-stranded RNA virus, double-stranded RNA virus, single-stranded DNA virus, or double-stranded DNA virus. So we have taken the reference from the WHO only. So WHO writes that mpox is caused by the monkeypox virus. It's an enveloped double-stranded DNA virus of the genus Orthopox virus in the family Poxviridae. So it's a double-stranded DNA virus. Second is, it is enveloped virus or non-enveloped virus. So it's an enveloped virus. It is enveloped virus. Then they can ask that what is the genus. So genus is Orthopox virus, and then they can ask what is the family of monkeypox. It's a Poxviridae. Coming to other question. Raju, a 6-year-old boy, was returning home from the school. At the gate, he was scratched by a dog. He was scratched by a dog, and there was some bleeding from the wound. So bleeding was present. Which option should be followed for the post-exposure prophylaxis? So there is a bleeding. So because there is a bleeding, so bleeding means it's category 3. So for the category 3, what we do first the wound care, that is wash the wound, then we vaccinate with anti-rabies vaccine, and then we administer immunoglobulin so that it will be given protection for the 1 week when the ARV takes time to develop the antibodies. So the answer will be C, wash the wounds, vaccinate the ARV, and administer immunoglobulin. So we have taken the recommendation from the National Guideline for Rabies Prophylaxis 2019. It says that there are 3 categories, category 1, 2 and 3. Category 1 is touching or feeding of animal, lick on intact skin, or contact of intact skin with a excretion of rabid animal or human case. You have to do nothing, just wash exposed area with water and soap and apply antiseptic. Finish. Category 2 is whenever there is nibbling of uncovered skin or there is minor scratch or bruise but without bleeding. There should be no bleeding. So you have to do just wound management and give ARV, anti-rabies vaccine. But whenever there is bleeding, it becomes category 3. So category 3 is bleeding or single or multiple transdermal bites or scratches or licks on the broken skin or contribution of mucous membrane with saliva, for example licking. So there will be wound management, then there will be rabies immunoglobulin. So there will be rabies serum or immunoglobulin. You have to give serum or you have to give ARV. They are saying for a note by bites by wild animals and all bites in the forest area, even if the bleeding is not present, should be considered as category 3 exposure and treated accordingly. So the answer will be C. Now first is wash the wound, administered a shot of tetanus toxoid. Wash the wound and vaccinate where it would have been if it had been category 2 when the bleeding was not present. Wash and apply antiseptic to wound. This have been if it would have been category 1. Wash the wound and administer shot of tetanus toxoid. This would have been if it would not have been bitten by the dog, but rather it was just a normal laceration or abrasion, not by the dog, or also contaminated one. Now 99. The method of combined disposal of refuse and night soil is known as dumping, controlled tipping, incineration or composting. So answer will be composting. So method of combined disposal of refuse and night soil is known as composting. So what is composting? So it has been taken from again the park. So composting is a method of combined disposal of refuse and night soil or sludge. So in this process of nature whereby organic matter break down under bacterial action, resulting in the formation of relatively stable humus-like material called the compost, which has considerable manurial value for the soil. Principal byproducts are CO2, water and heat, and the heat produced during composting is about 60 degrees or more over a period of several days, which destroys eggs and larvae of flies, weed seeds and pathogenic agents. End product compost, which contains few or no disease producing organism and is a good soil builder containing small amount of major plant nutrient such as nitrate and phosphorus. There are 2 methods of composting. One is Bangalore method, which is anaerobic method, and second is mechanical composting, which is aerobic method. So this was the option. Now coming to other options, what is dumping? So dumping is the most unsafe method, which you have seen here. So what is dumping? Dumping means that in the low-lying area, you are going to dump the refuse so that this land can be reclaimed in the future and you can use that land. For example, Kolkata has done it. Kolkata disposes of its refuse by dumping, and it has reclaimed land, is leased out for cultivation, but it has many drawbacks, and that's why WHO expert committee in 1967 only called it as a most insanitary method that creates public health hazard, nuisance and several population of environment. So what solution we came for dumping? We went for the control tipping. In the control tipping, we are doing the same. We are in the sanitary landfill, we are disposing the refuse, but we are covering it, and we are also putting the pressure over it. So it differs from the ordinary dumping in that the material is placed in a trench or other prepared area, adequately compacted and covered with earth at the end of the working day. So this is known as the control tipping, in which we are putting it in the landfills, and then we are going to put the soil over it, and we are also going to compress it. So this is the dumping, and this is the control tipping. Then we have the third option is the incineration. So what is incineration? Incineration is this, about the burning the thing. So incineration, refuse can be disposed of hygienically by burning or incineration. It's the method of choice where suitable land is not available. For example, hospital refuse, which is particularly dangerous, is best disposed of by incineration. Incineration is practiced in several of the industrialized countries, particularly in large cities, due to lack of suitable land. So in the cities, large cities, suitable land is not available for this method of your control tipping, composting, etc. So you go for this. Incineration is not a popular method in India because the refuse contain a fair proportion of fine ash, which makes the burning difficult. A preliminary separation of dust or ash is needed. All this involves heavy outlay and expenditure, besides manipulative difficulty in the incinerator. Further, disposal of refuse by burning is a loss to community in the terms of much needed manure. So we need manure. India is an agricultural country. We need manure. Burning, therefore, has limited application refuse disposal in India. So about this question, it is the method of combined disposal of refuse and night soil is known as composting.